Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, welcome back to the show. I'm your host, John Harcar, and we're here today with Robert Tucker. And what we're going to talk about, besides his experience in business, his experience in real estate, and working with investors. Remember, guys, at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, all entrepreneurs, really 2 to 5x their business by providing tools and resources to grow the business they want to grow and live the life they want to live. So, Robert, how are you, man?
I'm pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming on
End of
here.
the week, so I'm a little tired because we've been slammed all week. I think a lot of people try to get stuff done before Memorial Day weekend when they're
because they want to relax and have people over and all that fun stuff. Well, I'm excited to talk to you kind of about how you work with investors and whatnot. But before we start all that, why don't you tell our audience a little bit about you, kind of your background, and how you got to today?
Oh yeah, well I'm actually an engineer background. We have about 11 techs that run around and fix everything all around Denver, Colorado. Denver, Colorado is kind of an interesting place. Especially in the news and stuff. Always, they don't say the best stuff about Denver, but it's a great place to live and everything.
Right.
Great place for investors. Over the last 12 years since I was I've become an investor myself. A lot of people, but people are always selling. A lot of investors are selling right now, and we've been doing a lot of budget remodels in the area. We call them budget-friendly remodels because they're just not the highest quality, but it's enough to get that high price point that most investors want, with that second, third highest comp,
Right.
Most savvy investors know you're not trying to just overspend on everything and just overspend on budget, So we just call them budget-friendly, remodels where we'll go through and we'll renovate an entire house, with all the minor stuff, get it to look really good in the photos and really good in person as well, but not, buying Carrera marble for the showers, what I mean?
Right.
Which we do too. We started out more specializing in more of the higher end houses and everything. But what has happened over time is the people that live in the higher end houses, the multi-million-dollar mansions, want to use us for their investment properties, and that's a totally different, as I just kind of said, it's a whole different bracket, a whole different strategy, a whole different end result than somewhere where you actually live, day to day. And so we obviously handle all the emergencies and everything else. The emergencies are interesting because, and that is something I should probably bring up, that investors would be interested in hearing about, because we get called when things get really, really bad, and I wish I could send you some videos or photos. Are quite fascinating after we're done or something, but where it looks like it's raining indoors or somebody, and that was one such instance. They had hired somebody for about 4.5 years to do their plumbing because he was...
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Investor, and they just found someone to do stuff for cheap.
Yeah, right.
But unfortunately, he was using shark bites on everything. And I know, shark bites is something that we could have a whole topic discussion on, and we're short on time and everything right now.
Right.
But, people think, or investors, you see a lot of them in investment properties, and a lot of them probably from investors themselves that use these things. But once the temperature gets too hot or too cold, they tend to fail. And so one such instance I had some guy that they're probably paying nothing, for years to shark bite everything, but they all gave out at the same time, all throughout the ceilings and everything. And it was pretty intense. But we were able to go out there. We fixed everything, it was late, of course, like 9:30 or, whatever, 10. We had to go in there and we had a pro press. That's pretty cool. I would advise, if you own 10, 20 properties, maybe the, $5,800 investment in a pro press.
Mm-hmm.
That's much better if you are going to cut corners on your plumbing costs, and try to do it yourself. Learn how to use one of those as opposed to the shark bites. But people are really finding out now, at least here in climates that, can get really cold. That those aren't always great. Once the heat goes out and it starts getting too cold, they tend to fail.
So how did you even get started in real estate?
When I was in college, I was stuck in college for 4 years anyway. I figured so, I was going to college for free for wrestling, so I had my college paid for, and I'd do. I think I got my internships my following summer, and those paid very well. And so I was able to cover my tuition. So I had excess money, and I was able to start buying up tax liens. So I figured I had the 3 years anyway.
Yep.
Back then, tax liens were actually, I don't know outside of Denver. I lived in Denver my whole life, but here in Denver before, right after 2008 and stuff, they were actually worth buying. Now, not so much. Here in Denver, you pretty much go upside down in interest rate where you're paying to pay for somebody's taxes.
For someone's taxes, you're right. Yeah.
That was great back then, though. Back then, you're probably pushing around 8 to 12%, returns. And I was stuck in school anyway for the 3 years, and some of those substantiated, and I turned around and bought a few more properties and everything. Now, I'm a little different, though. I like to do stuff with cash.
You don't like to use hard money or private money or anything like that?
No, I just use my own cash for everything, for even for this business. I just like to do everything myself because, I don't know. I guess I worry about the economy and stuff too much, and I worry if I owe a bunch of money, then I owe a bunch of, ongoing expenses if something turns over. But most people aren't like that, investing. Very much the minority there.
Right.
It's kind of slow and steady with my own cash as opposed to, and I only have, 4 or 5 properties as opposed to like 100 doors or something.
Right.
I just
so you have 4 or 5 properties left right now.
Yeah, currently, and we got into assisted livings for a long time, and those are really great. That a golden age period too. Now after COVID, not so much. They raised all the bar on all of the mandates and all the additional work and all the additional paperwork and all the, but they never went away. It's still there.
Right.
Granted, Medicaid did go up.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Phone call. Did it cut out at all on your
Yeah,
end?
it cut out, but the voice cut out a little bit. That's okay.
Oh, sorry. It's because I'm getting phone calls and stuff. But
Oh yeah.
Medicaid, it went up to like 3,800 or 3,600 here. But it was stayed stagnant for a very, very long time, all throughout COVID, around 2,650 a month and per bed. And we'd have a few private pay, but it was mostly Medicaid focused, and smaller properties. But we ended up selling those off shortly after COVID. And
Just because all the regulations and all the new things you had to do, or just you guys just kind of got over the space?
well, our units were only like 10 to 16, so small assisted living,
Okay.
10 to 16 beds.
Yeah.
So basically, kind of like owning a single family property, you end up uh, doing most of the work. If you
Right.
want to make profit, you know what I mean?
Sure.
The
Yeah.
margins are not quite there. And here in Denver, there was a drastic, sharp inflationary period over the last 6, 7 years. Um, so, and the income was staying about stagnant, about 2,650 until they recently raised it.
Right.
And so it just got really, really, really tight, you know. And you have to have them 24/7, you have to have it staffed 24/7.
Yeah.
And we didn't cut any corners with, having them be, we'd send them over to get their, everything that they needed. And so I was actually administrator. My wife was administrator. Her mom was an administrator. And all the laws
All in
were
the
kind of
family.
designed. Oh yeah, well you can't have it be an administrator for more than one property. We're doing four of them. So you can't just be like Robert on all of them.
Yeah. 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 That makes sense.
So, and if you're going to hire someone else to do it, then there's
Why
not
not be
much more
family?
money. Yeah, and plus it's no money. You're not really making income at that
Right.
point. So, um, I think now after that bump up, it might be okay, you know. But all that stuff that they raised never went away, and it kind of lingered around, which causes, requires more man hours and stuff. So we got away from that and got into this industry years ago.
And that's the plumbing HVAC industry.
Yeah, and the reason why was, well, with the engineering background, I used to do project management. I used to manage techs all the time anyway. But I had jumped into a already existing company and bought in with like a 20% ownership, uh, and ran his company with him. And we
Right.
grew that very well. We grew it from like about 40,000 a month to about 280 a month.
Wow. Awesome.
And yeah, it went really well. And
Yeah.
and my wife actually was the one who really enjoyed it. She's like, "We need to do this." She's like, "Well, and him paying my portion when it was 40,000 a month was no problem.
Sure.
Something weird happened when it became 280. I don't know." Psychological aspect of that.
Right.
So he got a little
Exactly.
weird about writing the bigger checks, even though it's the same proportion. And so I was like, all right, well, I'll just take off and do my own thing then. If you don't want to, if you can't, well, no, he could afford it. I had access to all the bacon. He just didn't want to at that point. And
Right.
so we took off, started our own thing. It's been very, very, very successful, as you can tell. I can
Yeah.
see from we're working all the time. So we're working day and night, at this stuff, and it's great, and we love it, and
It's
it's
awesome.
very lucrative business to be in if you can do it right, you can execute, and you're charging a fair price.
Right.
We have a very good reputation. We don't charge, like the big boxes, obviously.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
But then we don't charge, anywhere low end because we're delivering a higher end product.
Sure. Yeah, you don't want to discount or cheapen your products. Yeah, for sure.
Well, insurance is expensive and licenses are expensive. I mean, this stuff is all overhead. And, if you're not Joey Bag of Donuts, claiming to be a plumber,
Yeah, right.
or a plumero, whatever you want to call it, then you have overhead, and so you do have to charge more than, just whoever, but you're getting really high quality. I think on the last, we go over our analytics, which we just did. We go over in segments of 250 jobs, we do a review and run numbers and stuff. We had one callback, which was the person had bought a sump pump from Home Depot, but didn't check it. And for some reason, my tech didn't check it either, so he installed it. And so she called back a week later. I was like, "This thing's not working." And he pulls it up. I sent another tech to go check the other tech's work. And he's like, "This is like 30 years old." Somebody had reboxed their old sump pump, returned it to Home Depot in this new box. Somehow no one noticed. So it wasn't an actual plumbing issue, but we fixed it right away and replaced it. And I was like, "Oh, God." So stupid stuff happens,
Yep.
That's just stupid stuff, but it wasn't an actual plumbing issue or whatever, And but a lot of investors are having us go in and kind of, after years and years and years of rental, I have noticed this trend recently. They're having us go in and do these budget-friendly remodels, where we just have a big list of things we do, and might be a master electrician comes in one day, master plumber comes in one day and organizes with the journeyman and stuff.
Right.
And then we also do the drywall. So we've hired a drywaller that's really, really good because we're always busting holes in the walls like Kool-Aid Man, So you can clean up our, you know what I mean?
That's fun.
Make it look nice and build access points. And so he does that. And so it's not a big deal for us to do the drywall or tile in the bathrooms. For some reason, and that's another thing issue. So we've done about 9 bathrooms so far this month. So there's been a real big uptick in bathroom remodels. Only 3 of them were investors, but all the rest were just people that are like, "Hey, I want a pretty bathroom." You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's springtime. But yeah. Is there any questions that you have?
No. I'm just kind of finding more about your business. So where you're in Denver, what areas do you service? Do you service just residential? Do you do commercial? Do you have a preference?
We cover all of Denver and surrounding areas. We don't have a preference, but the people that prefer us tend to be Bomar, Littleton, Castle Rock, Castle Pines, Cherry Creek, obviously, because that's where we're located, and that's where we really started was the luxury market. The people that utilize a lot of services tend to really, really like us a lot because they know the difference.
Okay.
New homeowners, they use us as well, but they're kind of like, they're a little confused. They think like you $5. If you charge them 5, they'd be like, "Wait, why not 250?" You know what I mean? It's like they just confused, a little bit about how everything works, and they haven't been burned yet by cheap labor, so they don't know.
Bad repairs.
Yeah. But we do a great job, and we have our plumbing contracting license too, so we do the heavy end stuff. So, what always happens is the sewer lines and stuff. So usually we run around doing scopes for people all the time, realtors and investors, and we're honest with all of our stuff. I think that's another aspect that people like is that how honest we are. take them through. We had this one such character. I'll try to say this story fast, but he had two other companies come through. I think it was like Brothers and some other company. I don't remember, some other big company. And he's like, I was so confused because they gave me two very different stories. I'm like, well, did they use a camera to tell you what's going on inside of your pipe? He's like, no, no, neither one used a camera. But he said there's roots and wood, and the other one said that there's probably a collapse and stuff. And I'm like, but they never did a camera because these cameras are, a lot of people understand they're like $28,000
Yeah, expensive.
if it's a decent camera, you know. So they're a little pricey, so not everyone has them, at least the ones that you could actually see. That's not like a hot ultrasound, you know.
Right.
But so we put the camera in there, and there's nothing wrong. It was just a belly. I mean, that is something wrong, but there wasn't all this stuff that they were saying, root intrusions, and I forget what else he was saying. Oh, partial collapse.
Partial collapse.
It's like he said he got mud out of there, so it's collapsed. He's like, but I've been here for 4 years. I'm like, if it was collapsed, you wouldn't be using it for 4 years.
Yeah.
I was like, just let us look at it. So we walked him through and everything, and it worked out great. Thanks.
Awesome.
He had to run my keys. It was one
There
of
you
my
go.
plumbers.
If there's people listening in your area, in the Denver area, that maybe want to work with you, use your services, if any other, because I mean, heck, I don't even know investors listen to this. So if there's anybody that's out there listening that wants to get in touch, how can they reach you? How can they contact you?
Oh, well, we're online. We're not hiding. You can Google Easy Repair, the letter E, the letter Z, and then repair. Yeah, that's pretty
Okay.
much it. Or you could call me anytime, 970-589-0006.
Okay.
We do emergency hours and everything, and we're straightforward. It's a pretty simple process. We come out, we tell you the price up front. If you want us to do it, you say okay and approve it. If not,
Easy peasy.
Yeah,
And I'll take all that stuff. I think I have the website here that you sent to me too. I'll put it in the show notes.
great.
Yeah, so that way if anybody wants to reach out, they can. Robert, I appreciate you coming out and spending some time with us.
Do you want me to send you that video of that place flooding?
No, that's okay.
Cool.
I mean, yeah, you don't have to do that. That's all
Pretty
good.
cool.
Yeah,
All
that's all
right.
good. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show, Robert. I appreciate again your time and sharing some stuff with us, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Cheers.
Thanks for having me. Have a good one. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.